What's going on, party people? Sending you some of these positive vibrations. My name is Lamar Jones, the Jank Gourmet Barbecue Sauce, and this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast.
Welcome to Black Smoke Barbecue. We are a collaborative group that focuses on different aspects of barbecue from pitmasters from all across North America. Barbecue is a culture, and we discuss topics, ideas, and the methods of it on the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. Our mission is to spotlight those lesser-known content creators in backyard barbecue, catering, food truck operations, as well as the African-American experience in modern-day barbecue. Sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy the show. All right, everybody, we are live. This is Jeffrey Boyd from Outdoors with Geoff, and you are listening to the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast, where barbecue is not only the code that we live by, it's the culture we embody. We got a great show for you today, guys. But first, let's see who's on the pod with me. We got my man Alton, the dog father down there in Austin, Texas. I'm sorry, Pflugerville. How are you doing, sir?
That's right, man. Get it right, dog. Pflugerville. Pflugerville. Right outside of Austin. You was close, bro, but it's Pflugerville. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, bro?
Good, man. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm living, bro. I'm living, over here, getting through the heat and playing in the pool and doing some cooks and all of that kind of thing. So, but we making it.
Good deal, man. I see you got that studio reset behind you too, man.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. It was time. Got some new shelving and stuff put in here. And, we had the whole studio tore apart the other day. And I swear it looked like we were moving. And I told Gene, we ain't moving again because that's too much work. And, looked around and had everything out of here, man. And it looked like somebody just came in here and just dropped a bomb in the house, man. It looked kind of crazy, but we got it all put back together. So we all right.
Good deal, man. It came together nice, man. Came together real nice, bro.
I appreciate that. I need to make some room in here because I need them couches like Charlie got, man. Because I see his set, dude. I just want to go lay on that couch and go to sleep, bro. Straight chilling.
Look, Charlie had a whole studio edition added on to the house, but that's okay. Matter of fact, let's swing on over to Charlie Maverick. How you doing today, sir?
What up, East Coast Geoff? How you been?
Man, I'm good, man. How about you, bro?
I'm trying to beat this heat, dude. Everywhere I go since we've been to country style, the heat been following me, man. It just won't let me go.
Yeah, man. It's like it just jumped in the trunk of the car, man. It's getting a little ridiculous, man. But at the same time, man, it's a good time to get some barbecue going. So,
oh yeah, if it's gonna be hot, make it work. Maybe you use less fuel or something.
Look, as long as there's some good food that comes out of it, man, that's all that matters in the end.
I just want to put out there, if y'all are cooking in the heat, make sure you don't drip your sweat on the food. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Cardinal rule. We don't care how hot it is outside. Take a towel out there, please. We don't need extra seasoning.
Those are the unknown sizzles. Is that what you're saying?
Amen.
Hey, don't be afraid of the saline, bro.
Look, when somebody complains about that chicken being extra salty, we know why. So it's all good. We appreciate the PSA, Charlie. Next, we got Brandon from BKC Cooks. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm in a half barbecue coma, brother, but all is well. All is well.
Yeah, I got a little jealous of your picture today, man. Why don't you tell us where you're at real quick?
So I'm out in the Bay right now, Bay Area, and I drove over to Oakland and I went to Horn Barbecue, rather. Chef Matt Horn is doing his thing over there, man, and I had an amazing meal. Why you shaking your head, Al?
Man, because it's some bull, bro. You over there getting that good barbecue ain't bring us none. You ain't Jeff, did he call you? Did he say, come on, hop on the jet?
Nah, he just told me he was going there. He didn't. I got about a 5-minute warning.
You see how you do us, right?
I've told you a million times. The jet seats 8. All you got to do is show up with your bag to the FBO and jump on. Like, how much more I need to tell y'all?
It's all right, man. It's all right.
But at any rate, Horn Barbecue, get there. That's a destination, man. And I was messaging with Chef Horn just before we got on, man. Solid dude, really cool cat, man. Y'all definitely want to check him out.
Good deal. And can you kind of explain, because he's, it's good to see him back up and running. Can you kind of go into a little detail about what had happened and why he was down for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, he had established Real Deal Barbecue out there in Oakland, and things were going great, but they had two tragic fires, his trailer and his actual brick and mortar, and they were almost back to back. That was last November. But they bounced back, and they just recently reopened in a new spot, and place is beautiful. I mean, one of the nicer looking restaurants I've been into in a long, long time. But service was great. So they're back up and running, serving everybody, and I got to tell you, everything was top notch. But I have a review coming on it soon. Y'all want to check that out. But yeah, if you find yourself in Oakland, or if you can make your way to Oakland, get to Horn Barbecue.
Good deal, man. Yeah, that picture that you sent us looked amazing. It was much better than the lunch that I had today. I'll just leave it at that.
What'd you have, bro?
You don't want to worry. You don't want to know, man. It's all good. It wasn't nothing compared to that.
It's a safe space.
Just brisket marbling everywhere, and ribs, and homemade greens, and mac and cheese. I'm sitting there like, okay, I see you, B. So
you see how you do us. You see how you do us.
I mean, you don't have to pay me back on that barbecue sandwich. I was just trying to prove a point to you with that, but you ain't got to throw it on me like that.
Man, look, that mac and cheese and Horn Barbecue made up for that miserable excuse of a barbecue sandwich that you took me to get.
I was going to ask y'all about that because, man.
Let me tell you. Hear me and hear me well. It be your own people.
Hey,
it be your own people, man. Not even, and I say this with all the love I can, not even the Jank could have saved that.
Oh, have mercy.
And we all
That's
know
pretty bad.
We know how powerful Jank is, and the Jank could not have saved that sound. That shit was pathetic.
Bro.
Hey, did I give you fair warning though?
You did, but I
okay.
just, you know how sometimes folks undersell something? No. He was dead on accurate. It was pathetic. They should be ashamed of themselves. If I were them, I would close my doors today.
Hey, but you know what I always say about barbecue, B, is that there's no bad barbecue, man. It's just different.
No, bro. They would have just in 2 bites. 2 bites.
Unseasoned.
Let me take that back. You're right, because that was not barbecue. That was cooked meat. It was not barbecue.
Hey, but that's what they call it though. They got barbecue in their name. I don't know why, but
I don't know how they can legally be allowed to call that barbecue. Because trust me, they cooked that in a combi oven. I know exactly what they did, and it's
gotcha.
Awful.
I mean, really, hey, don't hold back, bro. Tell me how you feel.
You know what? We don't have enough time, brother, because I could go on about how terrible that situation was for the next 3 hours. I was highly pissed.
To the highest end of pistivity.
Well, B, I'm glad you got something to make up for it, man. But I tell you what, we got a great guest today, friend of the show, and ladies and gentlemen, this is our very first guest here. This is somebody that we've been rocking with for a long time, and just to give you, some heads up, this young man is an entrepreneur. Said his first love is music. But if you taste his barbecue sauce, you may think his first love may be barbecue, because the way that barbecue sauce hits straight out the bottle, I'm telling you, it's something different. But let me cover a few things here. This young man was born in Camden, New Jersey, and raised in South Florida, and currently resides in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. And he created the Jank Gourmet barbecue sauce because he couldn't find the perfect sauce on the market. He's got a few different flavors of that out, in addition to an all-purpose rub that tastes great even on ice cream. And I can say, yes, I've tried on ice cream. It is indeed wonderful on ice cream, along with ribs and everything else. He was featured and reviewed by Tabitha Brown and Master P. And also, the Jank Gourmet Barbecue Sauce was a Quest for Texas Best Finalist and 2-time McAllen Chamber Innovation Grant winner. And he also won the HEB Supplier Diversity of the Year Award. Lamar's mission is to inspire and educate families about health being the key to wealth, regardless of their socioeconomic background. And Lamar is a father, self-published author, an Emmy-nominated recording artist and musician who released the album 1981. He's an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and founder of Jank Nation, a nonprofit that empowers youth and young adults worldwide through literacy, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and music education. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce to you our friend Lamar Jones of the Jank Barbecue Gourmet Sauce. How you doing today, sir?
Man, fantastic, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the intro, man. I'm just glad, honored, to be back on the show, man. Missed this, so it's good to be amongst fellas like yourself. You know what I mean? Doing what y'all do, man. I commend everything that y'all are doing on your side. So I'm just happy to be here, man.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. And we appreciate you since rocking with us since day one. I mean, day one, literally. You're our very first guest, man, and that means a lot. It was about 18 months ago we had you on, and a lot has gone down since then, and we're going to catch up on that. But first, let's just tell us how you been, man. What's been going on?
Man, staying busy. Everybody talked about heat, right? So we in Texas. Can't get away from them triple digits. You get in the car, dash, say 105, 106. That's not normal. So dealing with that, I'm trying to stay in the house in AC as much as possible if I ain't got to be out there. But other than that, man, just putting a feet to the pavement out there, working, pushing this, selling this sauce, man.
Good deal, man. And you have a new sauce that is coming out. You want to tell us about that?
Indeed. So the newest addition to the line, you can see them in the background. I printed me up some big 6-foot tall bottles. So smoked Serrano gourmet barbecue sauce is a partnership with university on this side of town, University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. So we did that. We launched it in May. It's the newest addition to the line. Great feedback so far. We've been pushing that, doing some demos, getting the word out, working really close with the university itself, doing some different activation stuff. So just pushing that, and so far, man, great feedback so far on.
And tell us why that came out. How did that because you got some pretty good flavors there already, man. What was the story behind this one?
Oh man, great question. So going back to music, right? So there's another another college on this side of town where I'm at in the Rio Grande Valley. It's called South Texas College. I actually graduated from there, but I had a friend of mine that worked with the students' activities. Danessa, she actually would hire me to come out and speak for events, to do music at events, sometimes even DJ events. And just so happened, some years down the line, we talking about 8, 9, almost 10 years down the line, she ends up working with University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, UTRGV. She happens to be on the board with the athletics department over there at UTRGV. UTRGV already has a salsa and a beer, Vaquero branded beer and salsa. So barbecue sauce came up in the conversation. She said, "Oh, I know a guy. I know exactly who you need to speak to." She set the meeting up. We kind of sat down and had that meeting probably within, days of that introduction. I was able to sit down with them and say, "Hey, this is what we're able to do. This is the king. Like, this is our capacity. This is what we can and can't do." Next week, I came back with about 4 flavors. And it's cool because I had actually worked with the marketing department and entrepreneurship department with UTRGV, doing some focus groups and stuff like that. Just kind of asking them if the university had a barbecue sauce, what would that look like? How could we make it unique to the Valley without boxing it into the Valley at the same time? So we did want that international appeal, right? We wanted to appeal to everybody, but definitely wanted to make put that UTRGV, that Valley stamp on it. So Serrano peppers is something that came up a lot in the conversation and in the focus groups, and I just happened to come across smoked Serrano. So I came back to them next week with a few different flavors. I want to say jalapeno. We did something like a chili pekin, and then I mixed a couple things. But something about that smoked Serrano, man, was like that was the one. So they tasted it. It was unanimous across the board. They was like smoked Serrano is definitely the one we want to go with. And it's just a unique flavor, man. I hadn't tasted anything like it prior to that, and I really don't even think. And maybe we can look it up. I don't know of a smoked Serrano barbecue sauce on the market anyway that I'm aware of. It could exist, but I'm just not aware of. So all of those things working together, uh, going back to answer your question, that relationship, networking, somebody that I had done business with for a long time, just happened to be in a place we were set up, when the opportunity presented itself. We started, working on it back in October 2023, launched it in May 16th, 2024. So it was a little process, but yeah, we got it done.
Hey, Lamar, Alton here from the Dogfather's Barbecue. And I didn't get to meet you last time when you were on the podcast, so I'm definitely glad you're here today, and I'm here as well. So Indeed. Glad to meet you, brother.
Indeed. Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
All right. So got a question for you here. We mentioned that, you got into doing the barbecue sauce because you couldn't quite find what you were looking for on the market. And so my question is, when that came about and you wanted to start to do your own sauce, what is that process? Because I know there's probably people out there that everybody has all their sauces that they come up with and this, that, and the other, but what is that process like, being able to develop a sauce and then actually bring it to market?
Oh man, great question. So the process itself, to be honest with you, if somebody had told me prior to going through the process, hey, you got to do A, B, C to Z, I probably wouldn't have tried to do it, man. Because it's work. I think people don't understand the work that goes behind not only, creating a recipe that you can replicate and duplicate every time you do it and have it be the same, but to get it to retail, to actually get it out there, ready for retail, into stores, and then keeping people coming back, right? So there's definitely a process in it, going back to, the first step of just perfecting the recipe, right? Because I know if you're like me, I used to make the sauce all the time. I could never make it the same twice. And I know for a fact, folks out there do that. So I could never make it the same twice until I said, you know what, let me measure this thing the last time I made it. So I measured everything down to the gram the last time. So that would be the, first part of that. Once you figure that out, obviously you got to come up with a name, right? Come up with a name for it, whatever that is. Me, the Jank, is a term that me and a buddy of mine, Cameron, down in South Florida, buddy of mine. The Jank was something that we used when something was just so dope, we didn't have a word to describe it. It was the Jank. So when I did the sauce, I'm like, boom, no brainer. We know we're going to call it. It's the Jank. It ain't out there, don't exist. So that's what it is. So, you get your name together. Now, is that going to stick? The Jank, don't nobody know what that is. We know what it is. Don't nobody know what that is. You go through that. Is that going to make sense? And then coming up with your logos, right? Logo, packaging, getting FDA approved, the stuff that you have to do in order to be retail, because now you're talking about people are going to be consuming your product. So you don't want any, legal ramifications coming back on you because you ain't do what you're supposed to do on that side of it. So there's a lot of work, but I don't regret any of it. Definitely, I'm glad I took that step and took that chance. So it is work, but I can go on and on about that. If you got more specific questions about the process, definitely get with me, that talk about it, and we can get, really get into detail on it, man.
Man, I hear that. One of the things I did want to ask you about, you came up with a recipe that is diabetic friendly.
Oh yeah, man.
And as a diabetic, man, I can appreciate that because that's part of the reason why I don't like a lot of barbecue sauces because they're so loaded with so much sugar in it, and I just don't want to deal with that. I'm keeping my A1C in check and I don't want it to get out of control. So I know that you have your diabetic friendly version of barbecue sauce, which, yes, sir. Got it right here. Yes, sir.
So this one got a different label on it, man.
Yeah, I got the old label.
Nah, man, it ain't that. It's old. You know what I'm saying? You as a company, as a product, as a brand, man, you gotta develop. You gotta stay fresh. We wanted to do a better job of letting folks know that, hey, man, this has some healthy aspects to it, and wanted to put that right on Front Street, as opposed to having to kind of look for it. You know what I mean? So that's the story behind changing it up. You see right on the front, you got the 1 gram of sugar, diabetic friendly, big and bold, gluten free, all of that stuff right up on Front Street. So that just
great marketing.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna call this the OG bottle.
Hey, definitely.
No, man. Hey, look here, man. I appreciate you for making that. And one of the things I did want to ask you about it is, because a lot of people look at things that are diabetic friendly, or whatever. They put a lot of artificial sweeteners and whatever. And the next thing you know, they've got the carb count, out of control, and so can I ask you about that? When you're developing this recipe, how were you able to make sure that you kept that in control to keep it diabetic friendly?
Well, great question. First step was, if I would not eat it, I was not going to put it out. I wasn't going to put it out. If I wouldn't eat it at that point blank period, I don't care what it was. So it took me some time to develop it. In terms of keeping everything in check, I went back. It wasn't that hard to do, for the simple fact that the Jank by itself is already a product of prestige in terms of the ingredients and quality that we put into it. So the goodness is just a breakdown of the original barbecue sauce, minus the sugars, the honeys, all of the sweeteners, right? And we're replacing that with monk fruit. So when you do that, all of those things are in check. There's really no major adjustments being done to it. It's just taking the Jank, stripping it down a little bit, and adding a slight sweet with the pure monk fruit, nothing artificial. So we're not dealing with artificial the alcohol sugars and things like that, or the sucraloses and those type of things. Monk fruit is a pure fruit. It is what it is. It's apparently 100 times sweeter than sugar, but you do have to have a nice balance of it, because if you use too much of that has its own distinct aftertaste if you don't do it right. So it was just a matter of I need to be able to eat it, and if I can't eat it, I ain't gonna put it out. So everything else kind of fell into place. And then, to be honest with you, man, that's actually the one I probably eat a little more than the other stuff, to be honest with you, because it's just it's unique. It's a different flavor profile from everything else.
Yeah, man, that is branded from BKC Cooks, bro. That new label, it pops, bro.
Appreciate you.
It does, man. I mean, that's gonna do well on the shelf. But I understand that you got an exclusive announcement here for us here on the pod.
Hey.
Partnership you got going on. What's the deal, man? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
We need a drum roll.
Yeah, we need a drum roll.
All right.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. Going back to relationships. You got to give you the backstory before I even give you the announcement. I went to school with a guy named Brian McFadden. If you're a Steelers fan, you know who he is. He was on the Super Bowl team both years that they won. He actually has always been a fan of the Jank when I created it. Sent it to him. He's like, man, what are you doing with this stuff? He introduces it to the head chef at the Rooney Complex in terms of the training facility. He likes it. We make the connection. And they say, hey, we want to bring it on board as the official sauce of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey,
Let's up to you, my man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, bro.
For real.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
So the last word that I got from them was, The players enjoyed it. We're looking forward to, spring camp, right? And being able to utilize that. So great feedback from all of the, the players and staff on that side. So it's, big deal, man. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the opportunity. And it's just a big deal being able to work with such an organization, like the Steelers, man. That's a huge deal for me.
Dude, that's a big deal, man. We love to hear that, brother.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
I think I can speak for everybody, man. We super excited for you, bro. And
indeed.
I'm super excited to have the Jank up in that thing, man.
Yeah, indeed, man. Indeed. And I'm gonna go on record. A lot of people ain't gonna like it. I'm a Dallas fan by nature, right? I started watching football.
Oh man.
There you go. Now, and at least let me tell you why. If I tell you why, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta give excuses.
Maybe you'll have some. So you got to keep in mind, I started watching football back when Emmitt Smith was in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Troy Aikman, Irvin on that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I started watching football. Fell in love with that team, right? I don't know what happened after that team, but yeah, that's and I've just been a Dallas fan ever since, man. So it is what it is. They ain't buying no sauce though, so I'm a Steelers fan. Moving forward.
Hey, we all got our downfalls, man. It's all good. You're still all right with me though.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm gonna be a Steelers fan from now on too, man.
Yes, sir.
They rocking with you, shit. They all right with me, man.
Yeah. Russell Wilson.
So, as a follow up to that, bro, I know that packaging and things like that is a very complicated thing that most people can't even begin to understand how difficult and complicated that is. And I know I'd asked you before because the Jank. I think I've told you this before. That's all I buy for the house. I was just talking to Geoff earlier today. That is the house barbecue sauce, bro. Like that's what we buy. But are there any plans to make a larger package?
Man, great question. So I actually have they're not on the website now, but I do have half gallons of the Jank, right? So those are available. Right now I've only done them in the original and the habanero because I had some restaurants and folks utilizing those already. So I had some demand for those, so I did create those. Half gallons are an option. I can do gallons too, but half gallons seem to be a little easier to move around and work with, and that's what people like so far. So we can do that on the rubs. I have some flexibility on that as well. I can do bags. I can do gallon jugs. I can do 1.5 pound containers. I have a lot more flexibility with the dry rub, but we can handle anything bulk that's needed on that side. We definitely have that capability now. Wasn't something that we could do 3, 4, 5 years ago. But we are, we've been able to scale up and progress to this point to where, those things are available, man.
That's good stuff, man. Yeah. I love to hear it.
Indeed.
I need to get one of them big 6-foot bottles you got back there.
Hey, man. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if you can finish one of them, man. You bring that out during the family reunion.
Yeah.
There you go.
So over the years, developing your sauces and everything, business deals, what have you learned? The right way, the wrong way, the way it has to be. What insight can you give the people out there that are trying to get into the business of doing rubs and sauces?
Man, a great question. The go back, it's actually simpler than you would think, or at least I think it's simpler than most people think. For me, it all starts with doing good business, right? If you're doing good business, a lot of times things tend to kind of fall into place. So what I've learned over the years is that the way that you treat people, that experience that you create with the brand, is a great way to bring people in. Now, you do that and you actually end up having a great product, now you really got them hooked. So you could have, you can go, you can have the best food in the world, and the service and the experience sucks. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to support something like that. So what I've learned is to really take care of your customer, stay on top of your game, and do good business. I think everything else kind of falls into place and falls under that umbrella. Obviously, business is tough, right? Business is not easy. Anybody that tell you that running a business, doing anything on your own is easy, it's not. So there's going to be challenges, whatever you set out to do, business wise. But how you overcome those challenges, being solution based, is one of the things I kind of swear by too, because life is going to happen. And as life happens, what are you doing with those situations? Are you dwelling on that moment? Are you focusing on, what is or what's happening to you? Are you focused on, man, it's here, it happened. How can I get through this? What's the next move? And I think that type of mindset, keeping those type of things in mind, are definitely one of the things that I've learned, and I kind of keep close to my hip, because those things have gotten me out of situations, or got me through obstacles and situations over the years, and continue to do so. It's a never ending situation in terms of dealing with challenges in business. And sorry to cut you off too, B. I mean, Charlie, I don't think I answered your question, Brandon. The packaging is very important, man. I got sidetracked. Packaging is very important, and for a few things. One thing is, you can't always be there representing your product. I can't be in the store. I can't be in an HEB store standing next to my product, demoing product, and telling people what it is. But if your packaging does a great job of doing that on the shelf, which is why we kind of revamp what we got now, just doing a better job of putting that stuff on Front Street. Packaging is going to be very important, because that's the first thing that customers see. That's the first thing that, people get a chance to interact with if you're not there. So packaging is one of the most important things, I think, in terms of getting that message across to your customer, with you not being there.
I agree, man, and I believe that new label, it tells the story like
Good.
clear as day. That label looks great, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, Lamar, you've really been dropping some gems on us here in this first half of the interview. But we're going to take a break to hear from our sponsors, and we're going to come back and talk business and a couple of fun things too with Lamar. But you are listening to the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast, and we'll see you on the other side of this break.
We like you to meet Sweet Charlene, the barbecue seasoning created from family bonds that is low in sodium but high in flavor. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned pitmaster. Level up your barbecue game with this dry rub that has amazing taste and great color. Go to EddieWrightBarbecue.com right now and order your choice between the 6-ounce shaker bottle, the 16-ounce bag, or my favorite, the 32-ounce bag, and start rubbing your beef, pork, and poultry the right way.
A revolutionary new grill brush is here, designed to eliminate the dangers associated with traditional wire bristle brushes. Meet the Boyer brush, which will make cleaning fast, easy, and safe. The rust-proof stainless steel spring bristles are designed to withstand failure and last for many years. The Boyer brush is crafted with a heavy-duty, all-metal design that is dishwasher safe. Cleaning your grill with the Boyer brush while hot will provide effective cleaning without bristle loss danger. With a long handle for two-handed pressure that provides rapid cleaning that's easy and safe, it's time to say goodbye to the dangers of traditional grill brushes and hello to the last grill brush you will ever buy. Get yours now at BoyerBrush.com. All right, guys, welcome back to the second half of the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. Today we have on Lamar Jones from the Jank barbecue sauce. And if you haven't, I want to implore you, remind you, tell you to please subscribe to the Black Smoke Barbecue YouTube channel. We got some great content on there, and we're really getting some great stories out. I'm at a point now where I'm really just, I sit back and watch the videos several times, just, reliving some of these stories that we get out from these good folks that are out there. But Be sure and subscribe and follow us on all social platforms. And next, we're going to swing it over to Charlie Maverick, who's got a question for Lamar.
All right, Lamar. So let's talk. When we had you were on our first broadcast episode. So, or the second one. Can't remember. Anyway, now you mentioned that you had a music background. You did some performing, did music, right? You sang, right? When people say that, you don't really take them totally seriously because everybody kind of makes music, right? Okay, I'll put that in perspective. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, I was scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, oh, you singing the national anthem. Oh, you gonna sing it like that? I didn't know you had it like that. I didn't know you had it like that, man. Hold on. And then Geoff reminds me, man, he has albums out. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's talk about this now. Tell us about this national anthem.
Man, the national anthem, for whatever reason, has always been one of those bucket list things, right? I've always wanted to do the national anthem. And the first time I did it, I had an opportunity to do something at a Vipers game, which is the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, which is the D League or G League, basketball team, professional league here in the Valley, their team. So I had an opportunity to do the national anthem one night there, which is probably the video that you've seen if it wasn't the one at the baseball game that I did recently. Got an opportunity to do that, crossed it off the bucket list, but it's just fun to do, right? It's fun to do. It's one of those songs that you either gonna butcher it or you gonna knock it out the park, right? We've all seen videos, man. So I can tell you, getting up there doing it is one of those things like, oh man, I hope I don't forget the words. I hope I don't mess it up. Oh, this high note coming up at the end. I hope I don't, crack. You know what I'm saying? You got all that running through your mind, but at the end you get through it and, trust the process and just keep in mind, this is what I've been doing for years, man. I grew up singing in the church choir, right?
Hey, me too, man.
9 years old. You know
yes,
what
sir.
I mean? So, grandma made me go to church, back then. I definitely appreciate her for it now, but that's where I came up singing, man, in the church choir. And music just kind of has always been, a love of mine in terms of, not having an outlet. Music has always been that outlet for me, and it's opened up a lot of doors for me. So that was, national anthem is cool. I enjoy doing that just because of the range and that it shows in terms of your vocal ability. You got to be able to do certain things to do it right.
That's right.
I think that's a good way to, kind of showcase the talent, if you will. And then say, hey, by the way, man, I got a barbecue sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Got him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, that. And then, like you said, the album, I've been putting music out, for some time. My first mixtape was mixtape. Wow. Do they even say mixtape nowadays, man?
I don't know. We're showing our age now. You call it a playlist now, I think.
Playlist, you know what I mean? My first mixtape was just a bunch of stuff that was already out that I kind of took in and wrote my own lyrics and stuff too, and I would go out and perform and kind of built the name for myself on the South Florida poetry scene, open mic scene to be exact, is where I kind of start doing that before I start dealing with producers, getting my own original production and things like that, and producing to the point where I'm at now, where I definitely work with different producers and I put out music whenever it feels good, man. So whenever I'm inspired to do something, I record, put it out. I ain't gotta wait on no label. I ain't gotta do none of that stuff. I can just put it out.
Love that. Yeah. We're going to include some of those links in the description, so y'all check that out.
Indeed.
Man, you talking about that anthem. That anthem has taken a lot of people down, bro.
A lot of people. Shout out to Fergie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, did I say that? Pew, 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 pew.
We're killer.
You ain't the only one. He is not the only one, bro.
No, she definitely isn't. She definitely. But Lamar, if you feel so inspired, I mean, do I hear a Black Smoke Barbecue theme song?
Man, the sky's the limit. That's why I say I ain't want to. I want to do you justice. If we do something like that, I want to do you justice. You know what I mean? So we can definitely, discuss get something like that done. I'd be honored, man. That's, I enjoy doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
There we go.
The easy part. I tell you, I take it a step further for you too, Charlie. So when the music thing, obviously was in play, and when I started doing the barbecue thing, I'm like, man, how's the jank gonna be different? I don't know no barbecue sauces out there with a jingle. Like I don't know no that I know of. I don't know any of with a jingle. So I say I gotta create a jingle, right? So we did that, and we can that's something we can do. But I need a little finger snap though. Get this all right there. Here we go. Oh, barbecue jank, make no mistake, it's so good you put it on everything. Yeah. Oh, barbecue jank, make no mistake, taste it and you love it. You never get enough. It's so good that you can put it on cake.
All right.
He hit the
All
high note
right.
at the end. He hit the high
All
note at
right.
the end.
You ain't have to do us like that at the end.
Yeah, look,
I mean, he did
I
too,
know,
didn't
right?
he?
did that.
I'm gonna remind you, there's nobody in here that's gonna throw no panties at you. So I mean,
Hey man, don't
you ain't got to come
this
hard
ain't
like
that
that.
type of show.
I hope y'all ain't got no patties.
No. It's not that type of food.
No, good stuff though, bro. Good stuff.
Appreciate
Good
you,
deal.
man. So just going back to the branding and trying to differentiate, the jank from everything else on the market. Good business and just tying in, what I felt like is one of my strong suits, right? Getting out there performing, doing music. How can I bring that into the experience, man, and make it move like that?
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
Lamar, I wanted to follow up on that, man. I know me and you have talked on the phone about a few things with content creation. You've talked about the music here, social media side of things.
Yeah.
You're an overall creative person. Even on your YouTube channel, man, you really have a presence for people. You get folks excited about something.
Cool.
And a lot of that comes down, we see that through your creative side as well, be it through the music and things of that nature. Dude, I had no idea. I didn't even realize you were an Emmy nominated recording artist.
There you go.
You ended up working with Logic a couple of years back.
Uh-huh.
And dude, next time I'm seeing you in a music video. So I tell you what, you want to kind of cover that story and how it was collaborative and talk about that event, because you really worked with a ton of people. I mean, there was a ton of folks that were on that project.
Yeah.
And you had to give a little bit of leeway when it came to the creative side. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that and how dealing with that side of being a creator and kind of having to let go of some of that just to be a part of something bigger.
Yeah, man, you know what? So for one, it was a great experience across the board. I remember signing up for there's a website that Joseph Gordon-Levitt actually is in charge of. You know who he is. He's played in a lot of big movies. I think Inception is probably one of the ones that kind of stands out a little more than some of the other stuff. But he's done some great movies. A-list, celebrity. He has this website where creatives can come in and create together, right? So the thing with Logic was one of those things where they decided to do a song, and there's a documentary on it, which is where the Emmy nomination comes in from, being a part of the project. They say, hey, we're going to do this song, we want to collab with, people from all over the world, but you have to submit your part. You have to submit your music to this track. If they like it, they're going to put it into the track and create a song. At the time, I had no idea they were going to actually do a video from it. I didn't know it was going to be documentary video, and all of that type of stuff. So I submit this, music, my part to the music, really not thinking much of it, to be honest with you, because we talking about at this point, I had been doing music 20, almost 30 years at this point. And I'm doing that, and I'm like, there's a lot of people submitting music to this thing. If it gets picked, that's cool. If not, no big deal. It wasn't one of those things where I was like, oh, I got this has to happen. And I think that probably helped in terms of how relaxed I was recording the track, just the energy that came across on it, and my approach to it. So, long story short, they end up selecting my music for the collaboration. And to be honest with you, and this goes back to, not winning stuff, right? You enter stuff, you enter contests, and you never win. It seems like you never can actually win anything. When I get the phone call, saying, hey, we want to use it. We're gonna, actually fly you out to LA and this and that. It was almost like, man, when I see the plane ticket, then I believe it. Right? That was my, cause I had been through that before. Hey, we like it. We gonna do this at X, Y, and Z, and nothing happened. So I had that mindset going through the entire time. But sure enough, man, they send the plane ticket. We do the videos. We start recording. Fly us out to LA. I meet all of these people. Now it was 21 people selected for the video and the documentary, out of thousands of people that submitted stuff all over the world. So for me, that was a huge deal, being one of the 21 selected out of all of these people all over the world. That was a major accomplishment for me, and didn't know where it was going to go or how it would be. But being in an environment with that many artists, not only that many artists, but so many artists that were when you say some of the most, humble, talented individuals I had ever been around from all over the world, like that just doesn't happen. That's not like a normal thing. So to be around that, to meet all of those people, and it was just a family vibe from start to finish. So in terms of taking I guess parts in it, or having to kind of take a back seat, it didn't feel like that throughout the process. Everybody was there doing their thing. Everybody had a role to play, and it was just a lot of great friendships and camaraderie that took place that day of the filming, and meeting those folks. As a matter of fact, I'm still in touch with most of those folks, man. We keep in touch via social media and this and that, because a lot of them are overseas. So we keep in touch, man. So it's just some friendships and an experience that you could never replicate, and it was just real cool being a part of something like that, man. And Logic is cool, great dude, man. I to be honest with you, I didn't even know who Logic was before I looked up the track. I was just like, oh, I want to do this. It sounds good. Let me do it. And then I start looking into what Logic was about and what he does. And I'm like, oh man, I definitely want to be a part of this because I love what he stands for. So that was another thing that kind of drove just my approach in the track, and trying to be a part of something like that.
Good deal, man. Hey, well, I implore everybody to take a look at that
Do
video.
what you love.
Yeah, the song is called "Do What You Love," and also take a look at that documentary. It's about 45 minutes, but it's got some really good stuff on there. One last question I got on that, man. Please tell me all y'all did not fit in that van.
Yes,
y'all just kept
did.
coming out.
Yeah,
all of y'all were in that van.
we were actually in that van, dude. So yeah, and we probably did that. We probably did that take about 2 or 3 times, just to make sure we got it right. But we all crammed in that van, dude.
It's like a clown car.
It's exactly like a clown car. So exactly how it looked, that's exactly how it was. We couldn't wait. I tell you, we couldn't wait to get up out that thing.
It was hot, wasn't it?
We up in there, what I'm saying, feet on necks, you know what I'm saying?
Smelling like Fritos and Funyuns.
It was tight. It was tight. You know what I mean? But they did the thing, man. Just working with the folks that was directing and things like that. It was some heavy hitters on that, involved in that, and it was a dope experience all the way across the board, man.
Man, that sound like a blast right there. But yeah. I gotta ask you this, Lamar. I mean, we talking about creativity and all that, but I gotta take it back. I gotta take it back to the business side of the barbecue sauce here for just a minute. I know, with sugar-free and diabetic, sauces and stuff that's out there. There's a lot of different brands out there that make different sauces. Whether it's wing sauces and boom boom sauces and teriyakis. And so my question to you is, are there plans to expand your diabetic line to where you have some of these, or incorporate some of these different flavors? Are you going to create some of that stuff?
Great question, man. Great question. So in terms of the diabetic side of diabetic friendly product line in general, so just like the Jank, so the Jank started out with the original and the spicy, right? And as people requested, hey, you got anything spicier? This and that, like the other flavors were born. Spicy, habanero, the dry rub, all of those things. Those all came about because I had, a lot of requests about it. I think naturally the progression is we definitely come out with more products along that line for that. But most people know, like dealing with a bunch of different lines, brands. You're talking about now I got to brand all of these things, right? On the grand scheme of things, even though there's some notoriety for the brand and people kind of know what it is, I feel like it has to be a natural progression, and it has to make sense because at the end of the day, I'm still somewhat of a one man show, right? I do contract people out. I do have people that I work with consistently, but in terms of really being the face of this thing and going out and pushing it, I'm the main focus on that. So as long as it makes sense to answer your question, yes, I see a whole line of products. I want to get into the frozen food situation. I've done mock up for potato chips. I've done, some other experiments with some seasonings and rubs and things like that. So there's definitely in the horizon some things that I definitely want to expand upon with the diabetic line of products. Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right. Well, hey, we here for the ride, man. We're going to take it with you, bro.
Indeed. Indeed.
So,
Yeah.
before the show, we were talking, us Texas boys, me, you and Brandon, we a little spoiled because we have the best grocery store in the country in HEB. That's right. That's right. Show it off. Show it off. And, we know that you are affiliated with HEB and your products are, throughout, the state in their stores. And I just want to, ask you, how did that come about? Getting such a prestigious affiliation with a company like HEB. How did that happen?
Man, it's amazing. That's a great question, and I'm glad you used the word prestigious. I from the beginning, I've always said before I knew anything about what I was going to do with this sauce, I always said I wanted this to be a global brand, right? So being in Texas, coming from Florida, I had never seen an HEB either until I moved here to Texas. So just being able to see how they operate when I created the sauce here in Texas, HEB was definitely the first store that I really had my eyes on in terms of I don't know how or when, but that's a store that I want the Jank to be in this store. So in terms of actually making it happen, HEB does a contest. At the time, it used to be the Primo Pick contest. Now they've labeled it as the Quest for Texas Best contest. I was able to get into that contest the second year that I entered, and this is where they select the top 25 products out of the state. Now they've kind of dwindled that down to 10. Give you an opportunity to come in, present your product to the people that make the decisions within HEB. And if they like your product and your brand, they give you an opportunity or you put yourself in a position to do business with HEB. Everybody that goes through that contest, whether you win or lose, does not end up doing business with HEB. As a matter of fact, a lot of people think I won the competition because I've been in HEB since 2016. I was in the competition in 15, been in the store since 2016. That competition, when I went, you had companies that had been in, business 20, 30 years, brick and mortar stores. Here I go, the Jank, still making my product in my kitchen. Just got my labels, retail ready about a month or so before the competition. And I don't win anything in the competition. I get a standing ovation in the presentation. They love the sauce, but I don't win anything. But not even a week after the competition, I get the phone call saying, "Hey, we definitely want to do business with you." So that's how the door opened. It was that contest. It was just the belief in myself enough to say, "Hey, I'm going to take this thing. I'm going to submit it," because that's probably the hardest step a lot of the time when you're dealing with food products. Just getting people to try it, believing in it enough to say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna put it out here and see what it does. That's hard, because if you ain't got some thick skin, if you ain't got some, bark, you know what I'm saying? Them nose dude will make you quit something real easy. So you got to have some tough skin. So I think that was probably the hardest part, getting people to try it. But just again, the belief in, friends and family already telling me, hey, this is good, what you're doing with it. So maybe they right, man. What if? So I start trying to, make it do what it do, and that contest came about, and that's how the whole HEB thing happened. It's been a great relationship so far. Working with them over the years, I've learned a lot from watching them, work, how involved they are in the community. And I try to, mimic and, emulate a lot of the stuff that they do in terms of business, because they're just great at what they do, running that thing.
Man, that's good stuff, man. I like that. That. But let me ask you this though. What has been your greatest obstacle on this journey?
Greatest obstacle, man, I would have to say not being able to be everywhere all at once, right? I've had a hard time delegating tasks, right? So as you start to run this thing, things are all over the place. There's a million and one things that have to be done, that need to get done, but they have to be done at a high level, right? So not being able to have all of the resources available that I would need in order to really be in that position to compete with these big boys that have, millions of dollars to spend, and resources and staff and things like that. That's probably one of the biggest challenges of it. Outside of that, it's not one of those things where you can predict, what may or may not happen. Things happen in terms of, labeling, mistakes where you gotta, bring stuff back and you can't use, you gotta toss, thousands of labels, things of that nature. They're just things that you can never predict that happen. But I would say that would probably be one of the biggest challenges throughout the entire journey up until this point. Because I think I'm just really laid back, going back to, solution based, like things are gonna happen. So my next step is always how can I get beyond this? How can I get through this? How can, we solve the problem? It's here. Ain't nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean?
I got you. So let me ask you this one. You go to the grocery store, HEB, and you got to buy a barbecue sauce, and you can't buy the Jank. What you gonna buy?
What I'm gonna buy? To be honest with you, I would say like a craft original or something like that. And I tell you why, because I can take that one home and I can put some stuff in it.
Put that Jank on it.
You know what I'm saying? I can take that out. And I'm hoping I'm answering your question, because if you was asking me what I'm buying that I can just take and then off the shelf and use, I have yet to find that sauce yet.
Exactly, man. I say that all the time. You always have to buy a sauce. You don't have to, but if you buy a sauce, you always got to doctor it up. We get in the cabinet, we call it the lab. We start pulling out the seasonings and the different hot sauces and this, that, and the other, and create what we like, because we know what the flavor profile is we want.
Answer me this though, Al.
Okay.
If you didn't have to do that, would you do that?
Probably. Just because, we always like to tinker with stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you, man. I asked that question because, man, to be honest with you, if I could go if at the time I could have gone into the store, bought something that I didn't have to put anything in and I could just use, there would be no Jank. It wouldn't exist, because it's already done for me. I could save that, hour, what I'm saying, in the kitchen cooking. I'd rather be doing something else, in that sense, when you talk about it. But yeah, it is what it is, man. That's the only reason it came about.
I don't know if we could even handle it if we came across a perfect sauce.
That's true,
because we just love to tinker with stuff. We got to mess with it. We got to play with it. Yeah. And then after we go all down this path of doctoring, and damn, I really could have just used it straight out of the bottle.
The beauty of barbecue, man.
It is, man. I got all these rubs back here, that I play around with. And people always ask me, what's your favorite rub? And I always say salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, man. I'm like, dude, I can tell you when I make, brisket or ribs or whatever, I done tried all these different rubs and I still always come back to salt and pepper.
Yeah. Cause you know what you're getting there.
Yeah, man.
You can gauge your salt intake. Most rubs that I've come across are very high in sodium. You know what I mean? So you talking about it might be a little flavor in there, but you're dealing with a lot of salt. And that's actually one of the main reasons I took the approach on the dry rub. When they're doing that, keeping the sodium down, because you can always add sodium, but if it's already in there, ain't nothing you can do, to get it up out of there.
Can't take it away.
Indeed. Did I ever show y'all what the first? Did I show y'all what the first bottle looked like, man, on the first episode that we did? Y'all remember?
The lotion bottle.
I didn't see it, so let's see it.
Hold on.
Yeah, man, that little lotion bottle.
Hey, man, don't be laughing.
I remember that thing.
Wait, but is it Palmer's lotion though?
Hey, man, don't be laughing at my lotion bottle, bro. So,
oh, okay.
All right. So this literally, man, you can see how big it is. This is what I could afford at the time. When I started making this stuff, this is what I could afford. I got my label, and I was actually excited about it. I got my printer, printed up me a little label, smacked that thing on there, and I was out there pushing this, man. So if you
Ain't
can
nothing wrong with
imagine
that.
how many no's, get that up out my face. I ain't drinking no lotion, all that good stuff. All that, man. So and then obviously going back to the B Cooks, BK, this the packaging, man, the labeling, all of that stuff, because I got all of the info, all of the jokes, all of the this and that, and that'll make you want to get better, right? Because you get tired of being the butt end of the jokes, so you go back in and you figure out what you need to do in order to be retail ready, because you got to start somewhere. And that's the main reason why I bring that up and show that, because you got to start somewhere. That and this, two completely different, situations. So just coming back and always being teachable, listening to constructive criticism, if you will, right? Because everybody got something to say, but a few people actually care about what you got going on and are going to try to help you progress and move to the next, situation.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm blessed and fortunate enough to, have some people around me that care about what I actually do with this thing and where we're going with it.
Well, I'm glad you stuck with it, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And people always ask, what makes the Jank different? And there's, or who the competitors are, right? And for me, it's like, there's a level of prestige associated with the brand, for one, that I don't think many brands, project. And I'm quite sure there's some of them out there. I'm just not aware of them being on the market, or I haven't had them. The customer service side of things, doing good business. Those are the things that set us apart. Obviously you can't, I can tell you it's good, but it don't mean nothing until you taste it for yourself. And it's just one of those things. If I can get you in the door, if I can get you to try it, I think everything else behind it definitely keeps you coming back for more in terms of what the brand and what the product is.
Yeah, bro. I want to commend you for that, man. There's so many people who have what they call analysis paralysis, and they just waiting around to try to get everything perfect. And
Yeah.
When you're a doer, you realize that there is no perfect start. It's just a start. And put one foot down and get going.
Yeah.
And so many people get caught up in, oh, well, what's this going to be like? And I don't know how it, blah, 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 just making all these excuses, man. I commend you for having the courage to launch in them bottles and say, I'm getting out there, I'm doing my thing, and I'm going to make this work. So let that be a testament to anybody who's out there hesitating on taking a start, man, just start.
Ask yourself this question: What's the worst thing that can happen? Right?
You end right back up where you start.
Where
You
you
ain't like,
yeah, you ain't lost nothing, right? But
yeah,
but
man,
but but by chance that thing actually take off and do something. Now you got something on your hands, and that's
absolutely.
I've never wanted to live with that thought of regret. You know what I'm saying? What if, I would have did this or could have did that, and come back to the same spot, and I've never tried it. So that's one of the things that motivated me to be. Just not wanting to come back and say, look myself in the mirror and be like, man, I wish I would have 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely, man. We're always talking about, what you do with the sauce and all of your accolades and everything you do in the business, but we don't often talk about your philanthropic efforts, man. You're doing a lot with
Appreciate it.
Jank Foundation, man, and things you do for kids and scholarships and stuff you put out. Can you
Yeah.
give us a quick rundown on what you do in your philanthropy?
Yeah, man. So great question. I've actually, I actually started that side of things way before the barbecue sauce started. And this will actually go back and tie into something that we talked about at the top of the episode, the partnership with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So told you I graduated with McFadden. At the time, I was actually a substitute teacher, and music was all I did as a profession in Florida. I was at a middle school, Addicts Middle School, where I started my first mentoring program, and this was with 7th and 8th grade, boys. And the reason I started it with them is because, in addition to being a substitute teacher, I was also a security guard when I wasn't subbing in the classroom. So I had an opportunity to be around and meet and build relationships with a lot of these kids that were getting in trouble 99% of the time. So when it came time for the program to start, and I ran it by the principal, Miss Shaw, at the time, I ran it by her and said, you know what I would like to do is create something where I could meet with these young men on a monthly basis. I can kind of keep up with them in class because I know the teachers, I know who they are, and I feel like if I can do this and I can bring in some guest speakers and I can have them show them something different, that I can kind of get some of these guys to turn around. And I bring that up because Brian McFadden was the first speaker of my program when I brought him in. He had just gotten into the league, you know what I mean? So I'm like, that'd be dope to bring my homie in here and let him speak to some of these cats. So we did that. That program followed me to Texas when I moved out here. And that's when the scholarships and things started to happen. And again, this is all before barbecue sauce. This was just something that I wanted to do. And even creating that program because I was trying to create something that I had lacked, that I didn't have at that 6th, 7th, 8th grade, middle school level. I didn't have any male figures that looked like me that actually cared about what was going on in my life. So that was the initial intention, and that's what made me even start it and think about it. But I had to have that support of the principal of the school and the staff, man. Teachers worked with me. I was able to get things done with a lot of those kids. You talking about I think one of the most memorable stories of those kids in that program is I had a kid that was a F student, Akil White. I'll never forget his name. He went from being an F student and a knucklehead in everybody's class to going out and asking teachers, hey, what can I do to make up some work? End up, becoming like a C student, doing this thing, right? 7th, 8th grade. So he made a transition from not caring at all to, hey, how can I, make this grade up? What can I do to do something different? And that was a big deal because I always felt like all it takes is that belief in yourself. Once you can get that belief, like, hey, I actually believe in myself, I can actually start to take pride in something. I think that's where it all starts, and that's where that everything kind of falls under that umbrella. So that was my idea going into it, and sure enough, man, it was very successful in terms of dealing with those kids and them understanding that I was genuine about it. because these were relationships that I had built over the years before I invited them. Because I literally, man, I went all out, hand delivered invitations to the program. They had to actually choose to be in the program once I selected them. So it wasn't just like, hey, you in here. Look, this is the opportunity. This is what we're going to be doing. This is what type of support you're going to get from me and the staff. If you're willing to do this, I'm trying to help you do something different. And that's where that started, man. And that's been probably one of the highlights of my life, to be honest with you, man, just to see that, in a situation like that.
That's awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
We need more brothers doing that stuff like you, man, because a lot of kids out here who just need that affirmation and need to know that somebody gives a damn about them.
Exactly.
Hats off to you, brother, for doing that, man.
Appreciate you, man.
That's a great thing that you're doing. So we would like to let everyone know how to find more information about how to follow you, your business moves, the sauces, you singing national anthems and stuff, and, the organization.
Yeah. All right. So definitely if you want to follow me, on social media, all of my, social media outlets, everything is at BBQ Jank. So if you go Instagram at BBQ Jank, Facebook at BBQ Jank, LinkedIn at BBQ Jank, X at BBQ Jank, everything is at BBQ Jank across the board. And then you have the website, bbqjank.com. Again, bbqjank.com. And in terms of the music, if you look up Lamar Jones, 1981, that's one of the last albums I did. I also did one that we released last year with a buddy of mine, Sean Elliott, called Summer of Growth. Sean Elliott and Lamar Jones, that's another one. Very proud of both of those projects, man. We put a lot of time into them. Good music, music with some substance and content. So that's, what we focus on. That's what the music is about. It's life, love, it's God, it's feel good music. It's something you can sit in the car and play all the way through and not have to worry about, mute nothing out, or, the kids can be in the car and you can listen to it and feel good. And,
cookout music too. Okay.
Oh, definitely cookout music.
All right.
You got the grill going. You can throw those in there, Definitely. Get
all
that.
Right. Put some sauce on that chicken. All right.
Indeed, man. Music and barbecue go together. That there's no way to get around that. I don't think I ever been to a barbecue with no music playing. And correct
it was a whack one. It was one with it was one of them with bad potato salad.
They were boiling. They was over there boiling chicken.
Oh Lord!
and 20-minute brisket.
Oh Lord!
Yeah. So that definitely something you can just throw on and let it play all the way through. At a time where now everything is singles. Everybody's putting out singles. It's the single. You don't see a lot of albums being put out. Nowadays.
That's right.
It's changed.
It's a travesty.
I remember, Charlie, when I used to buy CDs and they used to put the lyrics in the CDs.
That's right. In the cover. That's right.
I'm dating myself. I'm going back. So yeah, man, I miss those. I miss those times. That was different, and I think that's the type of vibe and experience I kind of aim to create with the music, and it's just what inspires me and what feels good at the time, man.
Man, all right. So we're gonna test this out. I'm gonna barbecue, put your sauce on there, play your music, see if we got a whole good cookout vibe going on.
There you
Y'all
go.
try that out there too.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And I want to know what you think, man. I love honest feedback. Like I said, I got some thick skin. I put a lot of time and effort into it. And again, this is stuff. When you listen to the album, when you listen to the music, this is stuff that I like to listen to. This is stuff that I feel, is kind of missing in the game a little bit. And that's what you got, man. And if you really want to know a little bit about me, listen to the album 1981 to give you all of that. You know exactly what I was going through at the time.
All right now. Hey. All right. Now, you'd be sure to come back and talk to us anytime you have an update about what's going on with you. We always happy to have you, man. Just want to put that out there.
Always a pleasure, man. Anytime. I love to see, like I say, the growth. I love where you guys are going, man. From first, second episode to now, making big moves. So man, hats off to you. And again,
Yes, sir.
retain.
Thank you.
You're watching, you're listening. Somebody, make the call. Let's make it happen.
All right. Bless up. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, man.
Okay.
As I said, anytime, doors open.
Indeed.
Studio right here.
I'm looking forward to the day when we all in one spot.
That will happen.
Live and in person. So
stay tuned for more information, people. One day. Let's talk that into existence.
Indeed.
Always great talking to you. Let's go around to the rest of the guys on the podcast and see where you can find them on the socials. Next, we got Brandon from BKC Cooks. Where they can find you, man?
Man, they can find me everywhere. Me and my luxurious man. I can't leave the man out. It gets angry if I do. But y'all can find us everywhere at BKC Cooks. Everywhere except for the old Twitter bird joint. We don't do that. But anywhere else, look for BKC Cooks and you will find us.
All right now. And be sure to watch those new videos that he has of that pit boss. All right. Make sure now.
Hey, look, that new pit boss putting in work, player. I can't even front. That champion barrel smoker. Nice. Let me tell you.
All right. Yeah. Be sure to watch those videos, comment, like, subscribe, all that. Next, we got the Dog Father. Now, where can they find you on the socials, Alton?
Hey, man, you can find me at The Dog Father's BBQ. That's DAWGFATHAS BBQ. You can find me everywhere. I'm not on Twitter, but I'm everywhere else. You can also find me on, speaking of, the Pit Boss YouTube channel. I am an ambassador for them, and you'll find me on their Backyard Boston's playlist. So come on through and come check us out. And man, Lamar, hey, I enjoyed hanging out with you. And can't wait to link up with you, brother, in person.
Indeed. Yeah, we'll make that happen sooner than later. I know you here in Texas, so we'll make that happen sooner than later.
Yes, sir.
Other thing I forgot to mention, Charlie, if you're in Texas, definitely hit up your local HEB, man. Just stop in and, pick up a bottle or two of the Jank. That rub, that's the easiest way to get it. If not, go straight to the website, bbqjank.com, man, and you can find it. We ship anywhere in the world, so we in here.
Hey, the sauces are good, man. The rub is good. Hey, y'all gotta try it. Straight up. We ain't gonna lie to you. Trust.
Did we mention the no corn syrup, gluten-free, no MSG, low sodium, across the board? I don't think we mentioned that in the episode. That's the thing that sets it apart. So that's what you're getting without compromising the flavor. Had to throw that in there.
And monk fruit.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Diabetic-friendly. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
I feel like I'm going to see Alton on Barbecue Boulevard grilling, and you're going to see him dancing. He's probably going to be dancing to some of your music. So
indeed.
Y'all check Alton out.
It's going to happen. It might happen tomorrow.
All right, let's go. Oh, man. Last but not least, we got our fearless leader. I call him East Coast Geoff, but Geoff, tell them where they can find you on the socials. I got to stop calling you that.
Hey, man, you can find me at Outdoors with Geoff. That's GEOFF on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And yes, still on Black Planet. We're at 10,000 strong. We're going to bring it on back. But yes, on Black Planet still. Trying to make it happen.
You will. You will. I got to tell you about I tried to share the website to someone. I got to tell you what thumbnail showed up off camera. It was kind of weird. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Hey, man.
Oh, man.
I didn't say they didn't have some things to work on. They're still there. And I'm just
definitely do.
We'll sign up when we get off of here, man.
They didn't go into the settings.
It's Charlie. Where can they find you at?
Man, they can find me everywhere. You see the name Charlie Maverick on the socials, and I hang out in the comments on Black Smoke Barbecue on the YouTube channel and sometimes on Instagram. I share the wealth because Geoff be on there too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's definitely fun talking with the folks. And folks, if you haven't subscribed, be sure and subscribe to the Black Smoke Barbecue YouTube channel. and Instagram, all of our social medias. Really got some great content, some great stories coming out there. We like getting that out there in front of you guys, but we appreciate you guys' support. Lamar, hey, I just want to thank you, man to man. I mean, we've been rocking for some time now, and seeing the growth that you've had, man, and what you're doing. And I want to point something out. I was going to bring this up and talk about your philanthropic efforts, but man, you started having the sauce in stores in 2016.
Correct.
This brother was giving out scholarships back in 2014.
Correct, man.
You know, before the business took off. So
Respect.
hats off to you, man, and what you're doing for the community and those folks that look like us, man. So really appreciate it. Thank you for all you do. And like I said, anytime, you're more than welcome to come on, man. We love just sitting down and chatting with you. I love our phone conversations, man. So I definitely appreciate it, bro.
Indeed, man. Anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast, and we are out.